Hello everyone, welcome you all. This is Suresh from SDET Automation channel. Today we're going to learn and start with Python strings, and this is going to be an interesting topic. And we use most of the times this strings concept in our Python coding. And if you are new to this session, do watch my earlier sessions. So previously we have discussed about the operators. Earlier to that we discussed about loops. So if you are new to this session, do watch the sessions. And let's get started. And this is a PyCharm editor that we are using, and this is our project. So we have created one sample demo project. So for now what I will do, let me change this editor theme first. So to change, you need to go to set file setting, and here in the appearance you will see this appearance, and here you will see this options. So we'll use this light theme now. So this is our project. Let me create a new Python file here. This say I will say as strings 1. So in Python, we don't have a concept of characters or representing a character type. So everything we represent using a string. And how we represent a string in Python. So we have a different ways to represent a string in Python. For example, name equals to, using a single quotation we can represent hello, how are you. So this is one way of representing a string. So we can use like this, and to print this we can immediately use the print function and print this name. So to print we can use the name. So this will print the name simply. So let me execute this program, and you can see this is how it's printed. So for say I wanted to print what's your name. So if I need to print that kind of string, so where we will have this name, or we can say string, okay, string 2. Let me represent it. So what's your name? So you can see it immediately is saying some error, because we wanted to use the what's your name, but in the single quotation it started and ended after a word what, and after that there is nothing which is representing in the terms of string. So for this reason we have another way of representing string here. So let me cut from here. So we can represent such kind of things in double quotation. Now you can see everything is in a string format. So I will copy this variable and put it in a print, and simply execute this, and you will see what's your name. So for now I wanted to do this both in one go. So I wanted to print single quotation, I wanted to print double quotation in one go, and within this I cannot represent double quotation again. So if I need to print the double quotation for name, so I wanted to print like this. So this is not possible even with the double quotation. So for this reason we have another way of representing strings, that is string 2. So let me give this string double equals to, so we have this three quotation marks, so 1 2 3. So under this we can represent anything between, it may be anything of like a paragraph or a complete string with the different types of values in it. So I wanted to represent this entire string here. So like this I can represent, and I can also represent like this and add double quotation to it. So you can represent anything between this triple quotation. So this is a one way, and this is a one of the advantage in Python, where you can use the multiple lines to represent a paragraph. So these are three different ways that we can represent a string in Python. Now how Python will understand this entire indexing and everything. So how the Python going to be represents the indexing. So let me give you a quick insights, or let me comment a few lines here. So here if I say my name is equal to Suresh, so this I will give with the spaces. So what happens, right, in Python, my s name will be started with the indexing of 0, then followed by 1, then followed by 2, then followed by 3, followed by 4 and 5. And this is a one way of representing the order of index. And you can also see it represents reversely also. So here, if I go till here, till h, so h will be represented as -1. So if I try to get this -1, or try to use the string with indexing, that will get my name h letter from the order. So let me remove or comment this line here. So now let me use another variable called name. So I will use with the s. So here I'm going to represent single quotation. So this is a string I wanted to use, and now I'm going to use this print function again. Print. Okay, I'm using a capital here. I shouldn't use capital. Print and names. So this will simply get me the name what I have written. So let me first execute this. So it is executing as my full name. Now I wanted to get the first character in my name or string. So to get those, so how we represent in Java, so for representing arrays we will use the square braces. We can use the same thing here. I can represent with 0. I can call 0 and simply run this. I can get the first letter, and if I use the same thing and again, and I can represent one more letter called 1 or 2, and then I can use the letter which is of 6 or 5, which is last letter. So simply save and run. Now you can see it has representing the letters. So you can see here 0 is the indexing of S, and 2 is the indexing of R, and 5 is indexing of H. So like this you can represent. And if you wanted to go with a reverse order or reverse indexing, then for that you can use this minus. I can use -2. So -2 will be indexing of yes again. So it will, let me quickly comment these 3 lines and simply run this one line. So now you can see it is representing with yes, and I can use the indexing of 2 3 4. I can, if I use the fourth index, so this will get me a number or name called R. So this is a 1, -2, -3, -4. So this is how it represents all the indexing in positive and negative orders. Now let's see how we can slice or how we can trim the string what we are wanted. If we get an entire paragraph, we can trim or slice that entire paragraph, and we can get the exactly what we need. So let me comment this line also. Variable called variable1. So in this I wanted to store Python for beginners. So this is a string. I wanted to slice this entire string, or I wanted to capture only few characters from this entire string. So for that reason I can use, let me simply type print, and so I think it's variable, yeah. So this is the one. So let me quickly print this for now. So if I print, it says Python for beginners. So from this entire string I wanted to capture only Python. So here it is for Python for beginners. I wanted to capture only this one. So how I gonna use that? So to get those values, we can use the same indexing concept of this square braces, and I wanted to capture from 0th index. Here we discussed, right? So indexing. So here the 0th index is P. So I wanted to start from 0th index and till I need to continue till entire Python. So Python has how many characters? 6 characters, right? So 0 1 2 3 4 5. So if I give till 0 to 5, so this will capture Python. So let me run this. You can see, I think it's 6, I guess. Let me give 6. Okay, so this will capture my first word of Python. So, and similarly we can use, without using the 0 also we can represent. So for now, if I remove this 0 and if I give only colon in 6, then it will also capture. It will treat that whichever value that we are ignoring, that will treat as a 0th index, and it will take the last number or last index of our entire string, and that will capture our word. And similarly we can use this. So let me give this type also. So I wanted to use the starting word or starting letter as 2, and I don't want to give the end of it. So if I give this, then if I execute this, so it will ignore first two characters. If you see here, this is the first one, and this is the second string that it has to print. So it has ignored py and it has captured entire thing. So this is how it will slice or trim the strings that we are expecting. And you can use either of the way. You can use, or you can use 0 till 6, or you can use only 6, and you can use starting character, and if you don't give anything it will capture entire string. And if you don't give anything, so for say some users may think that if I don't give any indexing, so if I just give this, and if I give this only colon, so what happens? So if I run this program, and you can see it has printed entire thing. So it has printed all the characters which are there in my entire string. So this is one of the way of representing or slicing down or trimming our entire string. So we have an option to reverse a string. So to write reversing a string, we don't need to write a big program. We can simply use one small method which can reverse our entire string. So let me comment these 3 lines again, and this is the same string I wanted to use. I wanted to reverse this entire string. For that reason I can use this print. So print, and I can use this uh, var1, and I can use this colon colon -1. So this is a function which will allow us to reverse the entire string. So you can simply run the program. Now you can see it has reversed each and every character that which was there earlier, and this will not change the behavior of my string. So for example, if I print again var1, so my behavior will be same. So whatever the characteristics of this string will be same, it will not change, but it will change the representation only. So this is how we can reverse a string, and we can use in our day-to-day testing activities or development activities. So this is the one way of, or one approach in strings which is available. And if you wanted to reverse any string in other programmings like Java or C, you have to write at least 10 lines of program or 10 lines of code. You can use the functions also. Here in Python we have the functions too. We can use that function. So far we have discussed on how to represent a strings, and how we represented single quotation, double quotation, and triple quotation, and how the indexing works with strings. And we have seen how we can slice each and every characters in our strings, and how we reverse the strings. And you can also do some practicing work by taking the big paragraphs and try all these examples in your day-to-day practices to get used to it. And if you like a session, do post a like and share with a colleague. And thank you for watching. If you are new to my channel, do subscribe.